Hey guys, Marsingin here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video, and so I wanted to make a video talking about this post that was put up earlier today by the official Dokkan Twitter page. This tweet was actually put out, you can kind of see on the screen here, it was 2 AM UK time, so I was already asleep. By the time I got up, I saw a couple of people had already made videos covering it, but I wanted to do a video talking about it anyway, not just specifically about the post itself, but what it potentially means that we could see coming up in the very near future. So you can see here a bingo tournament will be held in Dokkan Now Volume 7, which obviously essentially, without them specifically saying that, implies that we're getting a Dokkan Now very soon, right? Dokkan Now Volume 7. You will receive the reward from the row that Koto completes first. So good old Koto Supremacy. Vote to decide what the rewards will be for completing each row, A through H. Please vote from the link in the reply. And obviously there is a link to the survey. Now it basically just asks you to choose what you want to see from each row. So I did this on my phone. I don't know if it's... Will it actually let me do it again? Because now I'm on my PC. Maybe it will. So row A, Dragon Stones, Hercule statues or keys. Should be pretty obvious. Then number 3 is Gravity Chambers, Blue Incredible Gems or Medals. Personally, I think none of these are really worthwhile rewards, right? Like 10 gems, you can get that from one run of like one of the stages. So I don't think any of these are particularly great rewards, but I'd probably pick the blue gems one. We get an update at some point in the future where you can exchange blue and green gems for each other. So I feel like that one probably is the most useful. Row C, Elder Kai's, Turtle Shells, Potential Orbs, Medium. I mean, if you're low on orbs, I can see why you would want orbs. I think Kai is probably the best one. Like, we already know from the upcoming anniversary units on JP that, like, none of the anniversary units have farmable super attacks. So it's always nice to have extra Kais. Number 4, I mean, you should just always pick Dragon Stones if they're on there, right? Because one large meat, I mean, if you have 10 stones, that lets you refill your entire stamina bar 10 times. Whereas a large meat, you can refill your stamina bar once, depending on how much stamina you have. Not that you should use 10 stones for stamina, but pretty obvious that that's the better one. Row E is Skill Orbs, Combo 3 and Critical Hit 3, Supreme Kai Medals or Z Swords. I mean, the Skill Orbs definitely seem like the better option. And then Row F, again, Dragon Stones. Why wouldn't you pick Dragon Stones for every single one that it's an answer for? And then what reward would you like for completing Row G? Dozing Kais. I mean, 150 green gems. Maybe second place, but I mean, Dozing Kais, remember that all 3 of those, it's only a chance to raise SA level, so they could all be unsuccessful, which then essentially means this reward is nothing. But even then, I still think it's probably more worth the risk than 150 green gems. And then the bottom one is slightly cut off by this view, but Diamond Hercule Statue, Story Keys 10, or Potential Orbs, large, medium, and small. So I'm going to pick the Orbs one, click Confirm, and then there you go. You can see the answers that I picked for all of them, and then register. And then there you go. Thank you very much for your cooperation to answer our questionnaire. So, we have the tweet. The whole point of the video, and obviously you can kind of tell by the title, is what is the point of this, right? And the point is, all they're giving away here is that there's going to be a Dokkan Now coming up soon. And they're going to do essentially just like a weird little game, little challenge that will give us a way to get extra rewards. But why have they picked bingo in particular? Now, obviously we know, because it's been announced in the news already officially, as well as being announced previously on Twitter, that LR God Goku is getting his Easy A. It comes out next week. We are still yet to see the details of what he does, or, you know, like what team you have to use for the Easy A or anything like that. Now, it makes perfect sense that if they're going to do a Dokkan Now in the next few days or so, that's where they're going to reveal the details of what this God Goku is going to do. However, it does seem a little bit strange to just do a Dokkan Now to announce an Easy A that we already know is coming, right? Because the Dokkan Now is going to consist of what? Like, here's the details of what God Goku does. Alright, cool, see you all later. Like, it's going to be like 5 minutes long, if that. So, I think there is obviously the possibility that with the bingo thing being such a huge feature of... I say huge at all. It's not huge at all, is it? But being a feature of the Battle of Gods movie, obviously, you know, tying into God Goku, I think we could potentially see a global first Battle of Gods celebration, because this Dokkan Now is way too early to be advertising what's going to be for Saiyan Day. Because remember, Saiyan Day is at like the beginning of March. So they're not going to post a tweet now about a Dokkan Now that's going to come out in over a month's time. Or at least you wouldn't think so. So there's a number of interesting options that a Battle of Gods celebration could bring. Because obviously something that people have been waiting for quite a long time is an actual Dokkan Fest God Goku. But it would be kind of disappointing to get a Dokkan Fest God Goku the same time this guy gets an Easy A, and then they have the same name and they can't link together. Now, obviously they could do something they haven't done for quite a while, is have a unit that immediately transforms on turn 1, right? And you could have a Super Saiyan Goku, and then his immediate transformation is the God Ritual, and then he's just Super Saiyan God Goku straight away. That would obviously be one way of getting around that. Or he could just be a Super Saiyan Goku that transforms into God Goku with an active skill. There's a couple of ways they could work around it. They could just do a straight up God Goku. Obviously, we don't know. But I do think releasing a God Goku at the same time as Easy A-ing this guy does kind of take the wind out of the sails of this guy a little bit, right? Because they share the same name. He's going to be in that similar situation to like Kid Goku getting an Easy A during the Dokkan Fest Kid Goku celebration, where he's just going to get relegated to being a slot 3 floating unit. However, there are some other things that we could see as part of a Battle of Gods celebration, and 2 units that I brought up straight away, because remember, this God Goku is considered the one from the anime and not from the movie, and that's why he is on Superheroes and not Movie Heroes. Which also, just to point out, is kind of weird, because his SSR art is clearly them about to perform the God Ritual, but at Capsule Corp and not on the boat, which means they technically the SSR art is from the movie. But anyway, never mind. So, Superheroes. Who else is on Superheroes? Well, we have this guy right here, the Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta and Bulma. This is a unit that I personally have always been a big fan of. It was one of the first units I ever rainbowed off their initial banner. Now, his banner did have guaranteed featured for every multi, but he's a unit that I summoned for to rainbow. When he first came out, he was one of the hardest hitting units in the game on global when you took into account his counters. So him getting an Easy A would be super awesome. I'd be absolutely here for it, as long as it's, you know, as long as it's good, obviously. But who else released at the same time as him? We also had this Int Beerus on the banner, who is another Beerus that has yet to get an Easy A. Very, very basic kit. So an Easy A for this guy could definitely introduce something interesting. Not like a new, I don't mean introduce as in like a new mechanic, but because his kit is just nothing, right? Attack 120 when performing a super. So bare minimum for his Easy A, he's going to get start of turn stats and then attack and defense 120 when performing a super. But even then, that's not really a huge amount. He raises defense by 30% for 6 turns on super attack effect. Like with an Easy A, could actually be pretty decent. And obviously bear in mind, whilst this God Goku won the poll, we know that we are going to get an Easy A for LR Beerus and Whis at some point soon. But since it lost the poll, it's obviously not going to be as part of this celebration. So if we're not going to see a global first Dokkan Fest Kid Goku, the one thing I would love to see, because as I've already said, I think releasing a new God Goku would kind of cheapen the release of this guy. And you guys will have to let me know what you think, but I would love to see this unit as a Dokkan Fest. A new Vegeta, just make him a Super Saiyan Vegeta or a base Vegeta. I guess it doesn't really matter, right? And then give him an active skill where he has the That's My Bulma like cutscene. That would be awesome. Where he just powers up, goes Super Saiyan 2, leave Bulma out of the name of the card so that he'll still be on Pure Saiyans and all the other Vegeta categories. Because, I mean, the funny thing about that is he only has like Vegeta links. But because the card is technically Vegeta and Bulma, you know, they get to be on Vegeta family and they're randomly on Join Forces, but it means they're not on Pure Saiyans, all of these other categories that they would be on. So, a new Dokkan Fest version of this guy, where he starts off as like base Vegeta and then just transforms immediately into Super Saiyan 2 via the active skill. When I say immediately, I mean we skip Super Saiyan 1, I don't mean like turn 1. But yeah, give him an active skill with the That's My Bulma animation, transforms into Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta. I personally think, and I'm not going to try and argue that it would be more hype than a God Goku, but I personally think that would be a perfectly fitting Dokkan Fest. Because a lot of people, a lot of Vegeta fans, myself included, that's my Bulma like moment from the movie, because I think they ruined it a little bit in the retelling of in Dragon Ball Super the anime. But in the movie, like, that moment ranks as one of my top, like, favorite moments in all of Dragon Ball, because I love Vegeta. Obviously, it shows the development of the fact that, you know, we've literally seen in a scene just before that, which ties us back to the whole bingo thing, Vegeta basically embarrassing himself and, like, putting his pride to one side to protect everybody from Beerus's wrath, because he, out of everybody that's there, he alone understands just how powerful Beerus is, and that if Beerus decides that he actually just wants to kill everybody, that he quite easily could. However, then the same Vegeta that knows that Beerus is that powerful, then as soon as Beerus puts his hands on Bulma, Vegeta's like, right, that's it, and just goes full on. And of course, even only in Super Saiyan 2, he's able to push back Beerus. Now, obviously, he doesn't actually do any, like, real serious damage to him, but Master Roshi himself even says that in that moment, Vegeta becomes more powerful than Goku. Now, obviously, we can't rely on just that one statement from Master Roshi to mean that in that moment, he was literally more powerful than Goku. Because remember, Goku fought Beerus as a Super Saiyan 3 and could barely even make him flinch. And then in that moment, Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta was able to push back Beerus. So it's a super great moment for Vegeta fans. I absolutely think it would be worthy of a Dokkan Fest exclusive. Let me know what you guys think down below. Obviously, the thing that makes me a little bit concerned is in the past, global firsts have been very hit or miss. Like, even units that were good when they first came out, it kind of throws the schedule off a little bit. And it can have effects on, you know, the other stuff that we are waiting to come out later on. But honestly, as such a big fan of that moment, if it was going to be a global first, like Dokkan Fest transforming Vegeta, I would be perfectly happy with the schedule being thrown out a little bit. And that is a unit that I absolutely would go ham summoning for. I probably wouldn't summon to Rainbow for him on the first banner, but he's the kind of unit that I would definitely want to get dupes on the first banner. And yeah, I would be very, very excited if he was a global first. So let me know what you guys think down below. Is there going to be any kind of global first? Is this literally just going to be a very short Dokkan Now to announce the release of the EZA for God Goku? It does feel like that's a bit much, right? Just for a Dokkan Now, just to release the EZA information for this guy. But who knows? It could be any plethora of things. What would you like to see? Do you want a global first? If it was a Dokkan Fest God Goku, who was like a top 5 TUR, then would you guys like to see that as a global first? Or do you want global to stop messing around with the schedule? Let me know all of your thoughts on the matter down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.